If you're looking to take your Excel dashboard skills to the next level, this is the kind of dashboard you will want to build. It's clean, modern, fully interactive, and even the summary responds dynamically to your selections. And yes, this is all Excel. The best part, it's built with simple pivot tables, basic calculations, and a few smart design tricks. Let me show you how easy it is to plan, build, and bring something like this to life. Here is our raw data. Let's start with our first pivot table, simply revenue and cost as values, broken down by month. From here, it's easy. Just copy the pivot table and adjust the fields for each chart. For this one, I'm creating product mix by revenue for our donut chart. The idea here is simple. Build each pivot table around the question you want the dashboard to answer. For agent performance, that means sales, leads, revenue, and hours worked by agent. And that's the one I'm creating next. Now I'll create one for the KPI cards just to pull through the total values for our main metrics. That's it for the pivot tables for now. We can always come back and add more if we need them. Let's add some interactivity with slices. Click any pivot table, go to Pivot Table Analyze, then Insert Slicer. I'm adding the three we need: date, agent, and product. Now we want the dashboard values and charts to be controlled by these slices. For that, we just need to connect each slicer to all our pivot tables, right-click a slicer, select Report Connections, and tick all the pivot tables in the list. Then simply repeat the same process for each slicer, making sure they're all connected to every pivot table in the dashboard. Now test if these slices are actually controlling our pivot tables. Click through a few selections and there you go. Everything is updating together, so they are all interconnected. Next, create a separate calculation sheet to keep everything organized and make the dashboard easier to build. The calculations here are really simple. Just type is equal to and reference the cell where the value already exists in the pivot table. So revenue to revenue, sales to sales, leads to leads, and so on. For conversion, simply divide sales by leads, and for profit, subtract cost from revenue. Let's quickly test this as well. I'll change a few selections in our slices, and as you can see, the values in our calculation sheet update automatically. Perfect. Everything is connected and working as expected. Before we move on, I want to add a separate pivot table for our month-on-month trends. I still want agent and product to filter this table, but not date. Otherwise, we would lose the monthly comparison. So I'll keep it connected to those two slices and remove it from the date slicer. For our next calculation to work, I want the dates in this pivot table to show as month and year together. So right-click the date field and choose Ungroup. Then keep just one month selected here. You'll see why in a moment. Now back on the calculation sheet, add a new section for selected month. For current month, I'm simply referencing the month currently selected in our first pivot table, so whenever that month changes, this value changes with it. Format that as month and year, then underneath use eDate, reference the current month cell and enter -1. This simply returns the month immediately before the selected month. So if July 2026 is our current month, the formula automatically gives us June 2026 as the previous month. Now select any month from the slicer. You will see that month becomes our current month and the cell underneath automatically updates to the previous month. Now let's pull the previous month's revenue. Type is equal to and click revenue value in the last pivot table we created. Excel should automatically convert into a get pivot data formula. If that doesn't happen, click inside the pivot table, go to Pivot Table Analyze, open Options, and make sure Generate Get Pivot Data is turned on. Then simply replace the date in the formula with the previous month cell we created. Now I can select any month from the slicer, and both the current month and previous month values update automatically and correctly. For the month-on-month trend, I'm calculating how much the current value has changed compared to the previous month. Then next to it, I'm using a simple if formula. If there is a change, it displays versus previous month, and if there isn't, it simply displays no change. Now repeat the same get pivot data step we used for revenue across sales, leads, and cost. Just make sure that in each formula, you replace the month date with the previous month cell we created. So every metric always pulls the correct value for the month before. Drag the conversion and profit formulas across to the previous values section. then fill the change and display text formulas all the way down to the profit row. Actually, I'm going to combine the arrow, change value, and the text into one formula, so it's easier to bring into the dashboard later. It simply checks if the change is up, down, or unchanged. I'll include the formula in the file linked below. Back on the pivot sheet, I'm creating one small dynamic table for the latest 12 months. The filter part removes blanks and grand total, and take keeps only the most recent 12 rows. So as new months are added later, this range updates automatically and our trend charts won't need to be rebuilt. Now let's move to the fun part. Create a new sheet, press Alt W V G to turn off the grid lines, then choose a soft gray fill for the sheet background, and now we are ready to build our first KPI card. Bring in a rounded rectangle, fill it white, remove the outline, and add a subtle shadow. That gives us a clean 3D floating card look. Name it revenue, format the title, and from here it gets really easy. We are simply bringing in the values we already prepared and styling them to give this dashboard a premium feel. Insert a text box and place it just under the title. In the formula bar, type is equal to and link it to the revenue value from the calculation sheet, then format it to suit the card. Add another text box underneath and do the same for the month-on-month trend text. For the final piece, go back to the pivot sheet and create a chart using our last 12 months of revenue. I'm using an area chart here. Cut and paste it onto the dashboard, then clean it up by removing the axis, grid lines, title, border, and anything else we don't need. We just want the chart itself. Choose a chart style you like, resize it, and place it neatly under the trend text. And that's our first KPI card done. You can see how easy this part becomes once the pivot tables and calculation sheet are already doing the heavy lifting. Now select everything in the revenue KPI card, copy and paste it, and reuse the same layout. Change the revenue to sales, then link the main value to sales from our calculation sheet. Do the same with our month-on-month trend text and adjust the formatting so everything sits nicely inside the card. For the chart, cut it back to the pivot sheet, change the value from revenue to sales, then bring it back onto the dashboard. Match the chart color to the sales KPI, resize it, line everything up, and there you go. Our second KPI card is done in seconds. I'm going to speed this part up because we are simply repeating the same steps for our next two KPI cards, leads and profit. And there we go, 4 clean, modern KPI cards ready to go. I'm also going to switch up a couple of these trend charts just to add some visual variety and stop every card from looking identical. Pretty impressive for something built with simple Excel tools, right? For the next section, go back to the pivot sheet and create a chart for leads versus sales over the last 12 months. Choose a chart style you like, then clean it up again, remove the unnecessary lines, titles, borders, and anything that makes it feel cluttered. I'm also matching the bar colors to the sales and leads KPI cards so the dashboard stays visually consistent. Now copy one of the rounded containers from the KPI cards, resize it to fit the new chart, right click and send to back. Place the chart on top, add the title sales versus leads, make a few final alignment adjustments, and that section is done. For product mix, I'm using this pivot table with a donut chart. Choose a style that fits the rest of the dashboard, and I'm keeping this one really clean, just the percentages, with all the extra lines, borders, and clutter removed. Add another rounded container behind it, resize everything to sit nicely together, and just like that, another section of the dashboard comes together real quickly. For the next section, I want to show sales by agent, but if I build the chart directly from this pivot table, Excel brings in the extra filters and fields from the pivot, which I don't want showing on the chart. So to keep things clean, I'm creating a small dynamic table with just agent, sales, and hours worked. This gives us exactly what we want to show on the chart. For this one, I'm keeping it simple with a horizontal bar chart. I'll adjust the colors and formatting to match the rest of the dashboard, clean up anything we don't need, then place it on top of another rounded container. And that gives us a clean sales by agent section that fits nicely with the rest of the design. And finally, for our last chart, I'm using a scatter plot to compare sales against hours worked for each agent. We just need to tweak this one slightly. Right click the chart, choose select data, edit the series, and replace the X series range with our agent names. Now when you hover over each point, you can immediately see which agent it belongs to along with the related values, which makes the chart much easier to read. Now let's bring it over to our dashboard first. Now choose a chart style that fits the dashboard. To fine tune this one, right click the chart and select Format Data Series, adjust the colors and add some transparency so when the bubbles overlap, you can still see the points sitting behind each other. Remove any lines or extra elements we don't need, make a final formatting adjustments, and look how nicely everything has come together. Give the dashboard a title, bring in all your slices and style them to match the rest of the design. Now test a few selections and there we go. Everything updates with your filters. Pretty awesome, right? Now this one is the nicest touches in the whole dashboard because it turns the numbers into a quick written summary. I asked ChatGPT to help build a formula that pulls together the key metrics, revenue, sales, profit, month-on-month changes, and turns them into a readable sentence. The best part is it stays dynamic. Change the date, product, or agent slicer, and the summary updates with the dashboard. So instead of making someone read every KPI and chart individually, this gives them the main story straight away. What changed, by how much, and what the current performance looks like. And there we have it, a clean, modern, almost app-like dashboard ready to impress your colleagues, managers, or anyone you're presenting to. One last design tip, go to page layout and try a few different color themes. It's a really quick way to see which combination works best for your dashboard. I'm going with this one. Now send something like this to your manager and let the work speak itself. This is the kind of Excel dashboard that gets noticed. If you want to see more dashboard designs, creative Excel builds, and new ways to level up your reports, subscribe to the channel. There's plenty more coming.